Welcome to TIS. This is Matterall with Artemis Albosa piloting.
Howdy, howdy.
We're on our way to Amamake, where there's a huge brawl happening. Apparently, Rekking Crew has attacked the Keepstar belonging to Hydra, I believe, or people associated. But they are after Snuff, who's using it to stage from. And apparently, RC has already lost a Titan Dread Bomb. The group Dread Bomb has lost a Titan already. And so we're going there to take a look and see what's going on. Should be... how many did you say was in channel? Or in... do we have a local count?
I'm jumping in now and I'll tell you.
Okay.
Local count 710.
Yeah, it was under 1,000. These super quick piloting skills from Artemis, member of Noir Mercenaries. So this is a conflict that's been going on for a few weeks now. Rekking Crew and Snuff are at odds. Rekking Crew is helping Siege Green, which is a Korean low-sec group, protect their stuff from Snuff, and also taking the fight to Snuff a couple times. And it's been going back and forth now for a few weeks. Snuff, everybody knows they're a giant pirate group in low-sec and has a lot of heavy-duty super capitals and titans, is on the I guess they're on their journey of destroying a lot of things in low-sec because people are tied up in the war. So it's a good time for them to kind of go crazy in low-sec and wreck big stuff that would normally be defended, like Keepstars and Ignoitin or Basgarin. So they're definitely on a rampage. The Rekking Crew decided, I think, to help out Siege Green when they got into trouble with Snuff. And that's what the conflict stems from. Now, Amamake is a Keepstar, has a Keepstar in it. It's a system that's traditionally known as Pandemic Legion's like vacation area, where they go and relax in between when they, what do you call it, mercenary contracts. But since that's no longer the case, the guys that live there are some old PL guys, I think, that are part of Hydra. I don't know if they're all the same people or if that's switched around. But oddly enough, Snuff has been hanging out in this Keepstar after their Fortizar, I believe, got into some trouble. So Rekking Crew decided to attack this Keepstar, which is a bold move. And this fight is that first attack.
Another Titan just died, an Erebus.
Oh, an Erebus. Do you know what side that's... Is that another Dread Bomb Titan?
It was blue to me, so likely the case. Confirmed. Erebus belonging to Freight Train Diplomacy.
Yeah, Rekking Crew's been getting the worst of it lately, and I think in the last 3 or 4 fights, they've really been beaten pretty good by Snuff and their team. So this isn't a surprise, but we'll see if they manage to get that, get the objective. They're going to take some losses here. That's 2 Titans down already.
Another Freight Train Diplomacy avatar now appears to be primary of the Doomsdays from Snuffed Out. It's likely going to get volleyed here.
Doomsdays.
On the overview, RC aligned groups are going to be blue. Snuff is going to be red. Seeing particle effects of hull damage on this hard avatar, I believe, so it is probably about to die.
Oh, wow. There's multiple doomsdays on it now. Also seeing some point defense systems, PDS, I believe, from, looks like, oh no, maybe that's just artillery from those dreadnoughts.
At the moment, Snuff is in a rather tight ball with a bunch of Faxes, Supers, and Titans. Then we've got a lot of Dreads in the middle of the RC ball. Some of them are going to be Snuff, some of them are Nullsechnya, Shoulpin. At the open of the stream, we were discussing whose side NSH would be on. I'm not certain. Looks like caps are jumping out from the RC ball. I'm seeing carriers and other caps disappear.
I would say the caps you're seeing jump out look to be blue on the screen here. So primarily Dread Bomb or Rocket Crew related or Rekking Crew related caps, I would think.
Joining us is Fleet Commander Villy from Test.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for jumping
Looks
in.
like quite a battle.
Unexpected, right? It's kind of a bold attack.
Actually.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to be over pretty quick. I don't see many Titans left on the field from the RC side.
You know anything about this, Billy?
Thing. Somebody just told me there's a Titan fight happening. I saw the stream. It looks like you guys are already taking care of it. Looks like there's a sizable chunk crew of Faxes at the bottom there. And obviously at this point, whatever's happened has happened, and it looks like Snuff is routing the Rekking Crew forces pretty heavily from what I can see.
Avatar just died, belonging to Freight Train Diplomacy.
This is U.S. time zone for Snuff, not necessarily their strongest time zone. They're usually European. So I wonder...
Traditionally, Rekking Crew is a good bit stronger than Snuffed out forces in this time zone. What started the battle? Why are they on the Amamake Keepstar?
Rekking Crew attacked the Keepstar.
Oh.
It has since repaired. It was in a shield timer, if memory serves. They're trying to Rio the shields.
Yeah, I think they're sending a message because Snuff has been docking there. It is a free port, technically.
Someone in chat said a snuffed out levy died.
And then you have Nullsechnya that came in as a bat phone. Is that correct?
I'll try to get somebody on the TIS line to fill in the blanks. We have some friends in Revica and also Nullsechnya. They're definitely shooting the Titans that went down, so we suspect they're helping out Snuff.
Yeah, they're shooting on the same side very clearly from the kill board.
Yeah, second Titan's kill mail is out. It is a Leviathan belonging to Wife is Sleeping, which I think is a Korean group. They have the funny corp names.
Yeah, I believe they're Koreans. That's what I've been told as well.
Avatar from Few just went down.
That would be the third.
Is there any more Titans tackled, or just that one at the southern point?
I believe it's just the one Avatar.
No, there'd be two. So there's that one, and there's another one they're shooting at the top there, it looks like. So that'll put them at what, 6, 7 Titan losses? Assuming those two go down, which seems a reasonable guess.
There's 2 on the board now. A third that just got called, and then 2 more, I think. So it would be 5.
I think there's another one in the middle there.
Hmm.
Like there's 2 on the kill board, 2 waiting to show up, and 2 waiting to die. If I had to guess.
Ironically, Snuff apparently had threatened the Amamake Keepstar not that long ago with destruction. They were on a roll destroying things, but now they're using it, so that's a bit of irony if it's true. If you're just joining us, Rekking Crew is losing Titans. They had attacked the Amamake Keepstar. It's a fight between Snuff, Nullsechnya,
So is this an
Shoulpin.
initial reinforce, or was this an armor reinforce, as in the timer was coming out?
I think this was
When
a
I
shield.
landed grid, I believe it was the shield that was still repairing, yes.
It was a surprise attack.
So this was an attempted shield reinforce. Wow.
The second to last Titan just went down, belonging to Dread Bomb.
Titans belong to, we'll read them as they die. The first one was from Dread Bomb. The second one, let's see if I can pull those up, was from Wife is Sleeping. Third one, we have yet to see the kill mail, so it's not official till then. And then there's 2 actually that we're waiting for kill mails on. So a total of 4 so far. I believe 2 more with the possibility of being targeted.
As far as I can tell from the grid, there's only 1 Rekking Crew Titan left on field. There are some neutral super carriers, but they look to be in the Snuff blob. So I think this is going to be the last super to die on this grid, unless RC decides to commit again with a Dread Bomb or something like that.
Which seems like an unlikely thing, considering that they've basically, from what I've seen, attempted an extraction of the grid. So any spare dreads jumped out, 5 or 10 minutes ago when we saw the many jump outs there, and there's no reason those dreads wouldn't stay in siege and keep shooting if they were planning to come back in.
I'm seeing very few facts inside of the Snuff ball of supers. Any ideas as to why that could be?
I mean, there's a few there, but unless Rekking Crew commits their primary Dread Bomb forces on top of Snuff, I assume Snuff is just saving the faxes to properly position them wherever they're needed on a Bounce Titan or wherever else. And you're seeing Rekking Crew faxes warping out there. So
Yeah.
they are definitely uncommitting or attempting to extract from the field.
Yep, that appears to be the final super from Rekking Crew down. The Titans from Snuffed out are now focusing fire on capitals.
Looks like maybe half a dozen capitals left from the Rekking Crew side, at most. Surrounded by a massive ball of Nullsechnya and Snuffed out and so on dreads.
Third Titan's registered on the kill board. It is an Avatar, Mercy Meza from Outback Steakhouse of Pancakes.
Looks to be 6 apostles.
5 apostles.
And no other caps on grid, at least that are friendly to me. There may be some neutrals who are called as a bat phone by RC.
At this point, I think it wouldn't surprise me if there's 1 or 2 extras, but for the most part, it's just the hero fax who were doing their job, living, dying, and being the shield kind of thing.
There are still a few RC subcat fleets on grid. I'd be curious to see how long they are going to stay. Looks to
If
be
I had to take a
keeping one
wild
fleet.
guess, they are those Macarials sitting out at the edge there on the right side of your screen, and they're just shooting what I would hazard to guess are tackle and any reasonable size ships that are shootable. They'll probably extract from the grid as soon as pressure is applied to them after the last of the capitals die. Everything's shooting the apostles right now that remain. So as soon as those die, the folks will come under on the battleships, and they'll probably extract. Would be my guess. Right now, they basically just get to sit there and shoot for free. So no
Looks like
reason
the
not to.
Macario fleets are now warping off.
That's the Snuffed Macario fleet. Looks like to be warping, and I think they're just warping to a ping on the Sotillo. If I had to take a guess, they'll be warping back in at a different range. And there goes the Rekking Crew fleet. They are warping out.
6 Keepstars registered now.
6 Titans?
Sorry, 6 Titans. I've been saying Keepstar so often, Billy. Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see. An avatar registered to jump to Beacon. Another avatar registered to Corax Corporation. And an Erebus registered to the Terrifying League of Dogfort.
Does that match up with the Rex on field right now?
No, a 7th Titan's come in, actually. And this is registered to, again, the Terrifying League of Dogfort. So they've lost 2 Titans. 2 Erebuses. That's 7 Titans total.
I think the Rex may have been killed or salvaged already, because there are no Amar Titan Rex. Oh, there's only 1 left now. This being low sec, there are quite a few ninja looters about.
Yeah, in addition to the 7 Titans, there is a Wyvern that went down as well.
What are we watching?
You're live on air. The Wyvern belonged to Wife is Sleeping Corporation.
Yeah, there's a big low sec fight going down. That's what we're watching.
It looks like they targeted the Kaldari shield capitals with the Snuff armor fleet, which makes logical sense, I suppose. Apostles don't do much, which is all Snuff seems to have for Force Auxiliary support. So those are some super capitals they could kill in return. It looks like now you have the last of the tackled Rekking Crew. Looks like cruisers, so probably they're a combination of logistics or heavy interdictors that are being killed by a blob of fighters. So nothing too fancy. Just going to be cleanup of the grid at this point, I would assume.
Looks like the Snuff capitals are warping to the Keepstar to dock up. I suppose that confirms, well, maybe not. It confirms the thought that they were utilizing the Keepstar as a staging point.
Well, they've been working with the Amamake Keepstar for quite a while. But at this point, I imagine they're just regrouping their capitals so that they can warp them back onto the grid as required.
Looks like the supers are aligning and beginning to warp as well. Looks like the majority of the subcapital fleets have left grid. I'm uncertain as to the subcapital forces available to Snuffed out at the moment. It may be the case that RC tries to bring their subcaps back on grid to tackle some of the remaining capitals after the supers have left.
I mean, that
Thoughts from the
seems
team?
likely. No. Every one of those capitals and super capitals that's warping out right now is going to be able to turn around and warp back in 25 seconds, right? There's no bubbles in low sec, so your ability to reposition is only gated by your warp speed and your align speed, right? So even if they put a dread bomb directly on where those titans are warping out from now, every single one of those capitals and super capitals would be turned around and warping back within 45 seconds. So, the advantage you would get is pretty minimal, and you would just be recommitting to the field in a situation where usually when you've lost the field the first time, it is extremely rare for a group to recommit to that field afterwards, especially after being in a situation where they cut their losses and leave a combination of Titans, Faxes, and Dreadnoughts to die.
It seems to be confirmed that NSH came on the side of Snuffed Out, given that their capitals are still left alive and standing.
Given that they're also on all the Titan kill mouse, it makes sense.
Yeah. Did we know that Nullsechnya was working with Snuff?
I mean, Nullsechnya is one of those groups. They'll they're out for kills, they're out for content, right? And I'm sure they'll look to get what they can. I don't know. I actually
Salvage Rorqual is now on the field.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few of those. Quite a pile of heavy interdictors in this fight, from what I can see. Looks like Snuff brought 44 Devoters at 4 Phoboses. That's what it takes in Lowsec. 44 Devoters.
For those unfamiliar, in Lowsec you can't use AoE interdiction, so bubbles from a crew or destroyer interdictor or the bubble from a heavy interdictor. You must use an individual point from an interdictor.
Yeah, which is, I don't know how many Titans were on the field when this fight started, but it really limits your ability to have kind of a mass casualty situation where you can tackle, dozens and dozens and dozens of Titans at once. Every Titan has to be specifically pointed by a heavy interdictor, and at the same time, it has to also survive because it can't be repped while that point is active. So that Macario fleet that was just sitting there shooting the probably the Devoters the whole time would be keeping pressure and making it hard to maintain those points on the Titans. But with that being said, Devoters are extraordinarily tanky. So
this is surprising because not even 2 months ago, NSH and Snuff were fighting against each other over a Ornan and Fortizar belonging to Rogue Capel.
Yep.
Anybody have a semi-decent BR that we can throw in the chat and have a look at?
Take a look in the EVE discussion channel. This so far looks like a Snuff NSH, Snuff-sided victory. 205 billion lost to 788.
Did you say Snuff-sided victory? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, it's 7 Titans killed to 1 Titan killed, so 8 Titans lost total, which is obviously, a pretty heavy victory on one side. And then when we look at the Dreadnought count in the summary here, you have Rekking Crew losing an additional 27 Dreadnoughts, looks like, to Snuff's 17. So they won 27 to 17 in the Dreadnoughts. They did kill one Wyvern as well, but they also lost 7 Faxes. So realistically, the Titan numbers are the only ones that are the big difference. And obviously, Titans are quite a heavy asset with a pretty heavy cost behind them. The Titans on this battle report are valued at around 100 billion ISK each, and obviously with the new mechanics, that could be a bit higher in the 120, 130, 140 range. So certainly, this is very close to a 1 trillion ISK loss on the Rekking Crew side.
And we have estimates at 840 billion. Probably go higher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the battle report combined right now is over 1 trillion. So if you add both sides, but my guess is this is probably one-sided based on real value now, closer to 1 trillion. Just because the Titans are so undervalued on Zika right now. The really odd thing to look at in this battle report actually is the fact that freight train diplomacy has the highest numbers of anybody on the Rekking Crew side in this report.
Yeah, they've been growing pretty heavily recently.
Yeah,
they've brought in a few new corps over the past and recruited a lot of people.
Confirmed shield timer. One of my friends lost his Titan. He was Mercy Mesa. Condolences.
I think you should probably look at try to get one soon.
So
Okay.
shield timers really aren't timers so much as they are just somebody going out to do the initial reinforce. Because there's no timer that forces you to be there, right? It's not necessarily a timer, but obviously looking at the battle report, they're doing whatever they're doing, and then all of a sudden you just start seeing Snuff Hector, a Virgil collapse at Hector first, and then the first Dread Bomb Titan, I should say, gets Dread Bomb by Nullsechnya primarily. And the battle report just goes
Billy,
deeper from there.
I've got a question for you. Is this the sort of thing where it's possible to flash form mass Hicks and Titans in response to your shield timer being attacked, or would they have had to have prior knowledge via intel of some sort?
Well, looking at the battle report says, Rekking Crew was attacking this Keepstar, and then Hector's warped in and began tackling some of the Titans, and Nullsechnya dropped in and insta-killed the first Titan, which was lubed and ready. Because there's no Snuff Titans on that kill mill. There's no Snuff Dreadnoughts in that kill mill either. It's just purely Nullsechnya almost.
All right. Okay.
So that indicates to me that this was kind of a surprise, Nullsechnya drop that they didn't see coming.
We have somebody from within the fight. Mercy Mesa. Are you here? Are you able to talk?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
Is it emotional? You just lost an avatar.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional. It's interesting. I never thought I'd feel that way about a ship, but it went out in a ball of fire.
Yeah, can you talk about what the objective was here and what happened in your eyes?
Just from a line member perspective, I know I DM'd you that I died just because we've been friends over the years, but we were reinforcing the Amamake Keepstar shield timer, and Snuff undocked and fought. I mean, that's kind of about. We didn't see NSH coming. They kind of showed up and surprised us, but all of a sudden it was Hector's online on the field.
So was this a pre-planned operation? Did you guys have notice that this was happening tonight?
I knew it was going down. It was been a fleet that had been pinged out during the day.
Okay, so there was an opportunity for hostiles to kind of have an idea what you guys might be doing and to kind of pre-plan their counter ops from, I guess you could say.
Yeah. This is low sec, and it's a Keepstar and low sec. Snuff literally undocked, warped to fort, and warped back. It was all they had to do was bridge and Hicks.
Yeah, I was more so referring to kind of the Nullsechnya surprise element, because obviously, you guys must have been ready for Snuff to undock and fight at least a little bit, I would assume.
Yeah.
Billy, are you asking if NSH has spies?
No, I was asking if Nullsechnya was a surprise, which I think has been confirmed.
The one time Adderall's not muted.
Come on, Matterall. You have lunch with him later.
They can't hear me on. Yes, I have lunch plans tomorrow. Sorry that I got in there. You guys heard it.
I muted him until he finishes up.
The stream didn't hear me.
So, the stream didn't hear you. Okay.
Interesting thing was the Wyvern and Levy that warped at 0 to the Titan and Dreadball.
Yeah, what happened there?
Oh, so that's how you guys got those kills. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes more sense.
they warped in at 0, and yeah, they'd never had a chance of surviving.
Makes sense. Warped into the wrong thing, probably. So if I understand this correctly, then so you guys signed in probably at range from the Keepstar. You started shooting it. You're doing the initial reinforce. Snuff begins to undock. What percentage on the shield were you guys at when when stuff started happening?
Last I saw was 75%, 60%, 65%, somewhere in there.
So you guys had only been going at it for 10 or 15 minutes at most, then, eh?
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't seem like we were doing that much damage to it, so I wasn't taking metrics all the way, but I would say we'd have been doing at least 10 to 15 minutes.
Was there more than the 7 Titans we see on the battle report there, or was it just the 7?
Yeah. They called jump out, and because we were staying above jump cap, and I waited till the call to jump out, and by that time I was hick pointed. I had a full screen, like you hover over your hick point. I had a full deal of that plus 10 more on it, so there was no way I'm getting out.
Well, I was counting the 44 Devoters and 6 Phoboses on the battle report, and I'm like, yeah, that's what it takes in Nullsechnya. Ain't nobody getting away from that.
At one point, they had 50 plus hicks there, so.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And I can't say a lot about it. Like, I'm just a line member, and I want to be careful what I say on stream here.
No, it's understandable. Did you guys? So how many Titans did you guys have at the start of it, roughly? Do you think like 20, 30, 40?
Oh no, it was just a small group, maybe 10, 15.
Oh, 10, 15. So you probably only like about half of them got out, half of them didn't, kind of thing.
Yeah, I know Dread Bomb. I think over half got out. There's just 2 of us that caught, Seto and me.
Okay, so the other Titan is Seto?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I think that's why you got primaried first.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good call, and that's good for him. FC should be the last man out, so. So then, kind of, did you guys see? You didn't see Nullsechnya coming at all, eh?
I don't know what Command did. Saul, like I said, but I was surprised, and I think there's a fair few people surprised. Like I said, I'm just speaking from my perspective.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Wallymarts, you were the FC of Nullsechnya. You guys catch them by surprise?
Yeah, Billy. I was for the entire thing from start to finish for NSH, and it really felt good to get this done. For instance, we saw on Syndicate, you kept third-partying all of our timers, so we knew this was happening. We're like, you know what? We're just going to show up, show you guys how capitals are actually used. And we did it completely unscouted. Had about X logged off in system that you guys didn't scout the day before. It was successful. It was good.
So did you guys knew about the target for tonight, where they were planning to go?
I mean, every little detail of tonight was planned for days. It worked out. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the results kind of speak for themselves. Were you hoping to catch more Titans than just the ones you caught, or? Like you guys got 7 out of what I assume is probably about 15. Was there even super carriers there?
No, there were no supers. We only thought it'd be like 3 Titans, but
really?
When we saw grid, that's where everything showed up. You know.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
so no super carriers. That's.
Yeah, we only. We wanted the supers, but I mean, I guess we'll walk away with 7 of the 11 Titans. That works, I guess.
Oh, there was 11. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a complete success. 4 of them got away. One of them, one of the Titans, a Nur with his alt was tackled, but he didn't have any cap boosters. He's like 90 years old, works out of a nursing home, plays from there. And when I was yelling at him, I'm like, bro, turn on your fucking cap boosters. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss here.
You can.
He just left mumble. I don't know what happened. A Nur got pretty emotional and left.
With his dread or with his Titan?
With his hick. He was just angry.
Oh,
he closed that client. He's like, you know what? Wally's yelling at me. I've got better things to do. He just closed it, and that one, just like that, one Titan survives. You know.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
unfortunate. He probably should have sent some feet pics and gotten.
That's really all I ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't know if you guys noticed, but every single dread and every hick from NSH was labeled named Vexers. I don't know if that was lost in a D-scan at all. But we figured
Well, I
RC
mean
would like that.
that's obviously a pretty like high class, high tier move.
Yeah.
They didn't see that coming. I'm actually looking at some of the Nullsechnya dread losses here. I didn't know that Tessa Yor was with you guys. That's
Oh
you
yeah,
guys have
she's
been picking up some serious winners in your corporations. You got Rebecca too. Like you guys are moving up in the world.
I like Rebecca.
We're building.
Well, as long as they're not camping Esoteria, they're good people. Yeah, and obviously, you got some freight train diplomacies, and then Snuff warped a Leviathan and a Wyvern into the Dreadball.
Oh yeah, I have no idea what that was about. That was silly.
That was.
But it happens, people
an
people get excited.
Choice, yeah.
People get excited. Sometimes you work to the wrong thing. It happens. But I think one levy and what was it, a Wyvern or something?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's too concerned about that.
Yeah, that's whatever. Already replaced.
Did you choose to primary Seto intentionally?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
Why not?
It's not a terrible decision.
To take him off the field. He's probably the most well balanced and best super / capital FC of that entire group. So getting him off the field first is a huge advantage for something like this. At that level, playing fairly is just stupid. That's how you lose your first Titan.
Well, you won't get Billy to disagree with that, I'm sure.
So I'm not sure what I'm agreeing or disagreeing with, but
yeah.
So obviously the first couple Titans are entirely you guys. Snuff undocks and jumps in or warps into the fight kind of at range, I guess. Were you guys ready to kind of sit there and slug it out all on your own, or was this kind of dependent on Snuff showing up to give you a hand and
we didn't even know Titans were going to show up. We just saw an opportunity, we went for it. And then Sino went up. I'm like, oh, here it goes. Here comes more Supers and Titans getting ready for more Hicks to log in. And all the Supers and Titans were Snuff. We're like, oh, okay. I guess it's over. There's no escalation.
Yeah. So you obviously, I assume, Hai or Tao probably threw you a combo afterwards, and we're like, yeah, we'll let you not die here. Or, thanks for helping us.
I wasn't in with the. So I delegated that down to someone lower in NSH in the hierarchy of command. One of them, you might have heard of him, Admiral Wheeler.
Oh yes, I've heard.
His job was strictly just communicate with someone else. I don't even know who he was communicating with. I don't even know if it was Snuff, but we delegated that down to him, and yeah, we worked with the information we had. And
yeah, I mean, a lot of these Hectors that seem to be involved in this fight, they all seem to be from Snuffed out. So I mean, I'm just trying to figure out if there was that level of coordination or not. Where perhaps you were the hammer for a snuffed out hick bomb, let's say.
I think once the battle report populates a bit more, you'll see it be a little bit more accurate as to what happened, especially with timeline if you're looking at that specifically.
It's pretty accurate at this point. I think all the kills are in.
Are they all? Perfect.
Yeah, it's Verge Collapse, my favorite alliance to bring Hectors around, coming in with the first Hector loss, and then all of a sudden it's Seto's Titan dying shortly afterwards.
So for those who may have been hyper-focused on the nullsec battles going on, could you quickly explain the Vexer name? Because there's a bit of an interesting story there.
Me?
Yes, please.
Oh, yeah. Rekking Crew. I guess they ran out of materials or something. So their plan, which I still to this day think is a phenomenal plan, they put 500 MN Vexers on grid with, I believe, a Fortizar to kill it. What they didn't account for is the fact that Rokes with rails will track them no fucking problem. And so they were just bleeding Vexers like crazy. I think they only lost like 4 bill, and they made the call to extract. They did a morale ping or something saying like, oh, we didn't really lose, even though they lost a timer and all those ships. But that's just the name of the game. You got to keep your members happy. I respect that. I mean, we see that with Goons. We see that with, I think we do it. Everyone does it. But the Vexer's name specifically was a shout out towards their strategy to kill a structure with just Vexers. I think, who was that guy from Providence that did that with Towers and it worked really well? I think they were trying to emulate what he did, but they just used the wrong ship.
All right. Billy, I didn't want to push you into another conflict. I was joking that targeting Seto first was something you would agree with, but I don't want to speak for you.
No, it's all good. So are you guys taking a share of this loot here, or is this being split evenly? Looks like you guys got the loot rocks going back and forth now.
Oh yeah, we a lot of our dreads, when we called them to jump in, we told everyone to bring blockade runners and DSTs. And that's what they're doing right now. They're going from the Keepstar out, looting, going back, and just nonstop ferrying it back and forth. The first 40 bill is going to dreads that we lost, which I think we only lost like 20 bill or something. And then the rest goes towards new dreads.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you got my count earlier was 17 dreads you guys lost. I don't know if it's all.
Yeah, I don't even know how many we lost. Yeah.
Summary should keep. Yeah, so 18 dead dreads on your guys' side. But I don't know what separation that is between you guys and Snuff. Although I assume you took the heavier losses, being the first ones in.
Think so.
Probably more. I'm sure we lost more than that. There's got to be more. And I think a nerd lost like 3 or something. He just Wheeler, didn't he just like scream the F word and sign off? That was kind of weird.
Yeah,
sounds like something a nerd would do, but
he was just mad. Yeah, dementia setting in. It's fine. He'll get through it. He's a big boy.
Even worse because his kid sits next to him playing. So his kid hears that.
He was screaming, "Meet me in Pleasant." Something Pleasant. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Fortnite. Something about Pleasant, and that's the last thing I heard. Is a nerd yelled the F word and signed off.
All right. It looks like the battle's over. We're talking to the commanders from NSH that were instrumental in this fight, it looks like. They're on a lot of those early kill mails. And again, this was to wrap up an attack on the Amamake Keepstar by Rekking Crew. Most notably, Dreadbomb was in there. And a leader of Dreadbomb, Seto, lost a Titan as well as a mercy, and there was, I think, a total of 7 Titans that were destroyed on this essentially failed shield attack. You have anything to add, Billy?
I think it looks like it was a very well executed plan. Obviously, NSH coming in from the tightrope. Nobody's seeing it coming, and getting the foot to the head. Looks like it's had a pretty devastating result. And it is what it is, I guess. Some nice frags.
One thing, you said it was. Get your name here. Wally, you said that everything was planned. Was this planned at some point going to happen, or was this?
Oh yeah. The moment we noticed that RC was at one point fighting Snuff, and then also coming to Syndicate to, I guess, throw down with NSH. We're like, you know what? We'll remember that. We'll move forward on this. We'll finish what we're doing now, finish our objectives, get paid, move back home. And the first chance we get, we're going to lay it all out there. We're going to show them, one, how capitals are actually used in the game, and how to actually bait stuff, and how to actually scout. And so it just worked out perfectly. We got back home to MTech and then we instantly got news about what's happening, and everyone got pinged together, and we made a plan. And it took all of like 6 or 7 hours, and we executed it, and it worked.
Hey, Mids, did you take the dreads from? How far is that from where you guys are staged?
Unknown. It's unknown.
Unknown.
Here to check Wally.
So
I was going to say 8.
Sounds like
it's 7 probably. Somewhere between 7 and 15. Mids, as you know, we do live in Iridia currently, and we are watching for goon supers that are leaving the Delve war zone. So it was a little bit of a trek coming from the south like that.
Actually, you guys reside in MTAC-O in Tribute. That's where you guys moved in, isn't it? Are you guys deployed anywhere else, or what were you doing in Syndicate and now down here in Amamake?
So what
things?
Whale chasing?
Yeah, things. I will say this. We have a group in NSH that's extremely important for like data collection. The corp name is Ryba, and they're just always out there. They're always you get these new characters in the game. You give them the basic tools to do simple things. Go check the system. Hey, this is how a Sinomap works. Hey, look at structures. Check out their timers. You tell them that, they will find the content for you. Without Ryba, there's no content.
Nice. I like to see new guys get involved and stuff. Well, listen, congratulations on a really effective kill. I mean, you guys really took this one clearly. And I think that we should wrap up. If there's anything else, Billy or Artemis, do you have anything else?
I think it's pretty clear.
All right. Thanks, Artemis, for providing the camera. All the camera works by Artemis from Noir. And Billy for jumping in and helping to really flush out the situation. Did I say flush out? I always say that wrong. Flesh out the situation. And thanks to Lieutenant Condor for coming up and being brave enough to talk about losing a Titan right after it happened. And condolences to his lost ship. Not everybody has 3 or 4 or 5 of these things. And I know that guy worked really hard for his over a long period of time. So it's now immortalized with his name on it. Good for him. And good for you guys, Wally and Wheeler. Great job here. Really, really impressive. Okay, that's it. That's it from Talking
Awesome. Thank
Stations. Yeah, sure. Thank you guys for coming by. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, watching this. We will see you later on if some more news becomes available. Take care, everyone.